I'm not saying I'm going to be as good as Ed Tate, but I am using the same remote control, so just saying. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Don't make it weird. Okay, I want to start by talking about a broken promise. The broken promise of the American dream. Aren't keynotes supposed to be uplifting? Yeah, there is positivity more towards the end, but we have to walk through the darkness before we get to that light. So the way I think about the American dream is like an equation. And with all equations, you want the left side to be equal to the right side. I think of it like this: your work and your reward. In the last 30 years, we have slowly removed the rewards while slowly increasing the costs. Let's take a look at that. First of all, what was the promise? What did it look like? In the 1990s, the promise looked like this. You gave 45 years of your work, that's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks out of the year, 90,000 hours, almost enough time to watch the entire Lord of the Rings series. And in exchange, what you would get for that was you'd get security of income, you'd get a path to owning a home and raising a family, you would have security of your health, and the promise of a livable retirement. Well, let's take a look at what's happened over the last 30 years. Get ready for some soul-crushing statistics. Here we go. In 1995, the average American worker was working 40 hours a week. And in 2024, it is now 47 hours per week. That is an increase of almost one full business day per week. People nodding. Totally. Yes, I know what that feels like, right? Time magazine reports 52% of full-time workers now working more than 40 hours a week, 39% working at least 50, and 18% working at least 60. Okay, median household income, 1995, the median household income was $34,000, and today it's $74,000. We're like, wait, that looks good, right? But if you adjust this for inflation, the 95 income was actually $120,000, and now it's $74,000, so you're going the wrong way. And if you, whoa, thank you for reacting to that. And if you factor in the increased number of hours you're working, you go from an average of $59 an hour, adjusted, down to $31 an hour today. U.S. median home price, 1995, $130,000, 2024, $495,000, a 270% increase. Anyone in the room feeling this one? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Only 23% of U.S. families can afford the median home today. In 95, that was 55%. Of families could afford the median home. So we basically cut that in half. For your education, in 1995, public schools, that was a $3,000 price tag per year, and in 2024, it's $11,000. Private from $12,000 to $41,000. That's a 110% increase if you adjust for inflation. And the annual cost of childcare in 1995, between $3,000 and $6,000 a year, now up to $15,000 to $25,000 a year. Finally, I'll just mention quickly, a 5.5x increase in the cost of healthcare annually. The oofs, right? A lot of oofs in the room. I know these oofs. Plus, at this point in time, what we're facing for the majority of Americans will be actually a lifetime of working versus some kind of a retirement. So there's always a cost when you break a promise. And what is the cost when the promise is broken in the context of that American dream? What does that look like? We see employee apathy, talent shortages, quiet quitting, major disengagement in the workplace, probably things you guys have all seen, maybe even felt. And Forbes reports that 55% of workers currently employed in the US are planning on looking for new jobs. That means at least one of you is in this room. Translate that into a single paragraph of the American worker. What the hell am I doing this for? That's basically what that all comes down to. How are we going to fix this broken promise? 7 years ago, I took a job that would end up changing the course of my life. The 2.5 years that I spent working as Chief Marketing and Communications Officer for this company completely upended the way that I think about business, what it takes to grow and manage a company, everything about how do you get to a unicorn status as an organization, and how the US, along with the rest of the world, is going to rebalance this broken equation. During the 2.5 years that I spent there, we reached benchmark crushing success in every measure of business performance that you can imagine. From employee satisfaction to total shareholder return, we captured every award that our industry had to offer, including an award that was never awarded to a vendor before. And we actually got to a total of 60% market share in our space, in our industry. Thank you, appreciate that, thank you. Right on, people are like, nice. Oh, thank you, that's not a big deal. We doubled and redoubled again the company's valuation to unicorn status. What did we have that the others did not? Well, we drew from the same talent pools. We offered market rate compensation. We had industry standard technology, and we had industry standard pricing. I have come to believe that it was our effort to put purpose at the center of everything that we did that allowed this company to reach its true potential and rebalanced the equation for what it meant to exchange your life energy in the context of business, at least from my perspective. I believe that purpose, meaning the impact that a company seeks to create in the world, is the new variable for success and meaning. Was purpose the only reason for our success? No, we had great leaders, we had talented employees, a sharp technical team, and a strong culture. But purpose served as the catalyst, the driving force that elevated the outcomes for our company across every function of the organization. Purpose gave us our North Star for making decisions. It created passion and pride. It drove innovation. It drew in talented people, attracted them. It fostered great partnerships. It aligned our departments, attracted our clients, and purpose gave our work meaning. Amen. That's like an amen right there. Thank you. Collectively, we were making a real difference in the world, and we knew it. We would look across at each other and know that that's what we were doing here. After a nice exit, I departed from that role, and I became a disciple in the Church of Purpose, saying my own amens, right? I read the articles, I got the books, I took the workshops, I watched the videos, and attended the lectures. I interviewed over 100 business executives, kind of in this disciple process. I learned from Deloitte that purpose-driven companies had 40% higher levels of workforce retention than their competitors. From Harvard Business Review, companies that operate from purpose do a better job of predicting the future, innovating in the present, and learning from the past. And from Boston Consulting Group, that nearly every company with a purpose strongly embedded within the organization has a 10-year total shareholder return above the S&P 500 median. They are kicking ass. I also learned that while purpose can be enormously powerful, it can also be dangerous. Purpose used correctly can serve as a powerful fuel, but when purpose is used incorrectly, when it devolves to platitude, it will work against you. If you're disingenuous about it, you see things like employee churn, client attrition, reputation damage, and ultimately share price declines. Do you guys remember Volkswagen? I pick on different companies every once in a while. It's not always this one. Volkswagen had made big news about their achievement of having the lowest total emissions across their entire fleet of cars and vehicles that were available, because that was their purpose. That was where they were at in terms of their corporate commitment. But they were being disingenuous. And we learned this through EmissionsGate, when it was discovered that they had actually falsified the numbers on the emissions from their vehicles. This is being disingenuous with purpose. And what did it cost them? 40% of their share value. Yeah, like that's a massive hit, and it took a long time to recover. So I could see that it was powerful, and I could see that it was dangerous. I started working with business teams to help them navigate the challenges and reproduce the results that I had seen in the organization that I had worked with. So through leadership retreats and staff workshops and a full library of tools and resources that I had worked on, I started to build a roadmap. This was my Indiana Jones's journal for how to get to this sort of holy grail of purpose in business. processes, tools, templates, engagement guidelines, purpose operationalization strategies. That's the only 8-syllable word that I'll use in this presentation. And I really tried to put it together into a comprehensive guide with the help of Henry. That's the guy. I have a book coming out next month that is The Race to Relevance, which is born from that work. The Race to Relevance shines a light on this new paradigm of business in the world and delivers a how-to for business leaders to bring their own organizations to that space. My mom doesn't know this yet, but the preface to that book is basically my recognition of the inspiration that she had for me in my life. When I was young, every day that I left the house, she would say the same 3 words, and they were actually handwritten on a note on the back of the front door. Even with my friends in tow, she would yell out this guidance for me. She would say, "Do great things." At 14, I don't know what that means, right? And I would meet this guidance with everything from pride and confidence to total overwhelm, and with my friends in tow, sometimes embarrassment. Mom, come on, just trying to leave the house. But I would actually say it wasn't until I got to my 40s that I really had a sense of what this meant, what it meant to do great things. And I believe that what it means is to be part of something great. If you're going to exchange 90,000 hours of your life for something, make it have meaning. There are many things that have created sea change moments in industry, AI, machine learning, etc. I don't think the next sea change innovation is going to be a technology. I think it is going to be the ability to navigate changes in technology. In other words, I believe it is going to be orienting your company around purpose. What does that look like? For every company, it's going to look different, but I can give you a sense. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy visited the NASA Space Center for his first tour. While he was on this tour, going down a hallway, he passed a janitor going the other way. He asked that janitor, "What is it that you do for NASA?" And that janitor said, "I'm helping to put a man on the moon." That's what it looks like. That's how you know you're getting there. So, are you in or are you leading a purpose-driven company? I'm going to give you 5 criteria, and you're going to grade your own paper on this. Number 1, our company serves a clear visionary purpose with present-day relevance. Grade your own paper. Our purpose inspires and motivates our employees. Is that something you're feeling is happening in your company, whether you're an employee at that company or leading it? Our leaders embody and model purpose within our organization. Our business objectives, goals, and measures are tied to our purpose. Is that what you sit down and talk about in your meetings? Or is it the quarterly revenue results? And the last one, number 5, our strategic decisions are guided by our purpose. It's been enormously rewarding for me to play even a small role in the global shift to an economy driven by purpose. By building a world around purpose, we bring meaning to our lives and honor the greatness of our humanity. But remember this, it's not about the business outcomes. It's about the impact that you're seeking to create in the world. Yes, the business benefits are tremendous, but if you are pursuing purpose because you want to boost your stock price, you will fail. You have to be true of heart, that's the key. I'm going to leave you with a quote from Simon Sinek. What you do proves what you believe. It is the changes we believe in and how we act upon them that will return balance to a broken equation and restore life to a broken dream. Do great things.